Selling things to different types of buyers can be easier if you understand what's important to them. There are 4 main types of buyers. Knowing how to recognize each type and sell to them is going to dramatically increase your marketing and your sales. In this video, we are talking all about how to identify and market to your different buyer types. Hey business owners, I'm Brad Ball, your host of the Grind and Grow Marketing Show. Let's jump right into this episode. So first we're going to talk about the analytical buyers. Analytical buyers, they lack assertiveness and responsiveness. Those with an analytical personality type love data, facts, and figures. They are a no-nonsense people and want to get straight to the facts. So how do you identify them? To identify analytical buyers, look for individuals who are rational, logical, and detail-oriented. They prioritize making informed and accurate decisions, often seeking detailed information, facts, and evidence. So how do you deal with an analytical buyer? First off, don't push them into making quick decisions. You want to take your time and slow down with them. I recommend taking action rather than using words to show your willingness to be helpful. Stick to the specifics. Their decisions are based on facts and logic, and they avoid risk. They are often very cooperative, but establishing a relationship with them is going to take some time. I would consider telling them what your product or service won't do. They'll respect you for that, and they will have likely spotted that already. Discuss the reasons and ask why questions. So the type of content you'd want to make for an analytical buyer type is in-depth guides, case studies and data visualizations, product demonstrations, comparative analysis, something that shows the quantifiable benefits, a detailed explanation, and showing testimonials. You want to keep the tone professional, focus on the facts and figures, and present the information in an organized and structured manner. Analytical buyers appreciate content that helps them make informed decisions based on concrete evidence. The next buyer type is the amiable buyer. The amiable buyer is highly responsive and very assertive. Amiable buyers do not make decisions quickly. They want to establish a rapport with the people that they're going to be doing business with, and they will likely seek out help and approval from other members of their team. To identify an amiable buyer, look for individuals who are highly responsive and friendly. They value personal relationships, and they are not very assertive. They are going to likely be concerned about how their choices are going to affect others. So how do you deal with an amiable buyer? For one, be their friend. Work jointly to seek common ground. Always try to find out about their personal interests and family to build that personal connection. Use personal assurances and specific guarantees and avoid options and probabilities. Focus your discussions on the how. Always try to demonstrate low-risk solutions, and you can expect longer sales times with this group. The type of content you'd want to make for an amiable buyer. You want to create content that resonates with their characteristics. Amiable buyers are typically relationship-based, supportive, and they value that personal connection. So here are some strategies and ideas for content. Content that emphasizes relationships, that displays your authenticity and transparency, and visuals that evoke a positive emotion. Remember, consistency is key with this group, and you want to regularly engage with this audience, respond to their comments, and actively participate in those discussions with them. All right, on to our next buyer type, and that is the assertive buyer. Assertive personality types are goal-oriented, decisive, and competitive. They care way more about results than personal relationships. To identify them, assertives usually speak in declarative sentences and ask few questions. Their volume is often louder than average, and they are very animated and use a confident body language. So how do you deal with an assertive buyer? One is you want to be assertive yourself. You want to use eye contact, and you want to be standing up for yourself. You want to plan to discuss the specifics and actions and results. You want to use facts and logic, and when necessary, if you have to disagree with facts rather than your own opinions. You want to keep it businesslike and efficient and to the point. Personal guarantees and testimonials are the least effective with this group. You're better to provide options and facts. The content you would want to make for an assertive buyer type is content that displays a clear value proposition, has a direct call to action, shows your competitive advantages, shows data and statistics, provide them with limited time offers, display your transparency and trustworthiness, and be very responsive in your feedback. All right, now on to our last buyer type, and that is the expressive buyer. The expressive buyer is highly assertive and highly responsive. Expressives tend to be very enthusiastic and colorful. They want to bond with you and feel connected on a personal level. So how do you identify them? So to identify an expressive buyer type, you want to look for people who are highly assertive, responsive, and motivated by recognition and approval. They're going to speak more in statements rather than in questions. So how do you deal with an expressive buyer? So let them do the work. Ask them open-ended questions. Your discussions should be about people and fact-oriented. You want to show respect for their position without being knocked over. Make concise, brief, and active statements. Prepare a list of options that they can control and share the facts and results. You want to avoid emotional arguments and show big picture benefits. Highlight their personal value to you and show that your product or service will elevate their image. You want to emphasize the innovation and excitement of your product and solution. So the type of content you would make for an expressive buyer is visual content that evokes an emotion, introduce storytelling, use interactive content like polls and quizzes, show user-generated content that showcases content from your customers, if that's an option. Highlight social proof and engage in conversations. All right, there you have it. There is a breakdown of the 4 buyer types. Understanding these buyer types is going to dramatically help you increase your marketing and your sales. I hope you found this valuable. We'll see you in the next video.